Welcome back to the Cinema Cruise Point of View. And I am back with a special guest in the
Oh yeah.
building. I got my man, my original partner, who we've done many of these together. One of my favorite guys, not the Cowboy King of Entertainment himself. How you doing, buddy? What's up, Cowboy?
Listen, man, Big Mike, it's always a great day when I get a chance to be on screen with you, brother. So this is gonna be cool. And we did the very first one of these for the Extraction Part 1. So it made sense that we're back for Extraction Part 2. I'm
Yes,
doing
if
good.
you go through my playlist of movie reviews, you'll see a Big Mike and a Little Ant review of Extraction Part One. Now,
Oh yeah.
Extraction Part One, what was cool about that was when like came out during the pandemic when the
Yeah.
movies were still closed and we had like zero content stuff that happened, and then
Hmm.
we Netflix, as we know, can be hit or miss, especially with movies. And we went to watch this one, and it happened to be a gem. So
Yeah.
we reviewed the first one, and it was pretty good. So we said, you know what? Even though we don't have a channel together, let's go ahead and review part two to kind of keep
Yeah.
up the extraction thing. And I heard it's gonna be a part three too, so we might as well do that one too, whatever that
Might
comes
as
out.
well.
So,
We locked in.
so let's keep it going for extraction. So anyway, bro, extraction. How did you? Well, let's talk about
Mhm.
part one a little bit. The first time, I remember we did enjoy it. So did that bring you more anticipation for part two? This one right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think remember that year Netflix whole thing was big stars having a Netflix movie.
Yeah,
And so it was like everybody you could think of was having their own Netflix movie.
yeah,
And so when we got to his, so it's kind of like, hey, let's watch it, right? Why not?
yeah,
And man, matter of fact, I think the first one we watched was the Jamie Foxx movie.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We did. Yeah,
yeah,
I
and
forget what it's called. But yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
yeah, like whatever power or something, I don't know. So anyway,
yeah.
and
I think
so
it
it
was
was
Power actually. That's funny.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it was decent, but
yeah,
this we were both like, oh man, like it was action. It gave us that feeling of like that 80 late 80s early 90s action movie, like so much shooting and crazy stunts and yeah. So I remember watching it like, man, that was really good. And I guess we could talk about this now. But
yeah,
the end was like a cliffhanger. At the end, you think he died. He's like, did he die? Did he not? Because he fall off at the bridge into the
yeah,
water. And I think it ends like that.
yeah,
And we were like, if they ever make another one, that'd be cool. And here
yeah.
we are.
But the dope part about that ending is like, if they didn't, it still would have been cool. It
Yeah.
still would have been a good ending,
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah.
it's like one of those things where it's like you can win either way. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like, because he did save the day and he died saving the day, so it would have been like, either way it would have been cool.
Yeah.
So but they brought him back, and sometimes that too, when they bring somebody back, if you think they might be dead, it can be cheesy. But here
Mhm.
it wasn't Extraction 2. It just kind of
Yeah.
worked or whatever like that. So I want to get to Extraction 2 now. So it's I don't even know where to start. Well, let's start. It starts from exactly what we talked about. They pulled him out the river,
Yeah.
and he's not dead, but they got to pull him out and stuff like that. And he's going through this whole like us, I guess, right now, right? Going through rehab,
Yeah,
going
man.
through physical training and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And but he's pretty much like almost a shell of himself mentally. He's going to going to pasture to retire. So let's talk about the beginning right there, man. Like before he even like that whole part when he's rehabbing and depressed and thinking about retiring. How you felt about watching that part?
Yeah, I thought it was a great start. First of all, we find out he's not dead, right? They
Yeah,
literally let you know he was pulled out of the river, and he's pretty much like, all right, cool, I'm done, you know, and uh and he was shot up. So like, you guys don't understand if you missed it,
yeah,
man. This guy got shot so many times, stabbed, like, so showing them repair, pretty much not repairing them, but trying to repair, it was cool. It was cool, especially Mike and I were both in rehab right now, right? So
yeah.
it was like cool to see. Wow, like that's kind of how I feel. I barely could move my arm. Like, yo,
And I got
eh,
leg issues, so
yeah,
yeah, pretty dope. Yeah,
and so I thought that was cool. That was cool.
yeah. And that that was in Abu Dhabi, that medical
Mhm.
facility, and I thought it was dope to see like how far they are along with medical stuff. And almost more than USA. I felt like they had a
Mm,
lot of stuff over there
yeah,
and whatnot. So I was like, wow, that's pretty dope. But I thought also to see the mental aspect is like he felt like to me he was complete. Like I completed what I need to do, and
right,
I'm ready to kind of
right.
go off and retire. Also, I want to talk about the girl because she I don't remember her name right now, but basically his handler lady and
Okay,
whatnot. She was there the whole time, watching him rehab
Right.
and trying to be there
Yep.
for him and stuff like that. So
Yep.
I felt like that was pretty cool, because at the beginning, part one, it felt like they had more like of a employee employer
Right.
relationship,
Right.
but and this one it kind of seemed like she really cared about him and stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Like at some point in time, I was like, man, like she is like really, really care for him. Like, why so much? You know?
yeah, right. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying because she stayed there the whole time. So then we see that as far as the retirement is concerned, her and her brother, who's like the comic relief for the film, her brother, and I like him
Mhm.
too actually. Yas, her brother's name is Yas, man.
Yeah.
But they found him this spot. It's kind of off the grid spot. It's a cabin. Got him
Yep.
all set up. He got food money. He got his dog back. And at the time, it seems like he's pretty content.
Yeah.
He's going fishing. He's
Yep.
coming back and forth like that. He's straight. All of a sudden, we see this guy pop out of the shadows, and it's Idris Elba's character.
That was cool.
It
I didn't know
was.
he was in it.
Me either.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I
I had no clue.
Me either. I had no clue. And it's cool because that's Thor and Heimdall from the Avengers and shit like that. So, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but we see his character, and he's got another mission for him, to do and stuff like that. And of course, at first he's like, "Decline, I'm retired," but it's personal,
Mhm.
Again, by the way, this is a spoiler review. Just make sure I say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this is person though. It's his ex-wife's sister who is captured. I'm gonna get into that in a second too.
Yeah.
But and of course he has to call the handler lady, and she's like, "What are you talking about? I give you missions," and he's like, "No, we doing this." So how you felt about that right there?
So one thing I think it was cool that before we get into his the ex-wife's sister being captured, but one so when you think of it, right, what would make you come out of retirement, right? I think the writing was good because if we sat around and we said, okay, we got this character, he's he's tough, this and that, and he said he's done. So what will bring him back, right? And you can't just make it like, oh, we got a really good mission. No.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really cool to find out that it's his wife's sister. Plus they'll get into that. I feel like he kind of felt he owed her one, but
Yeah.
two, to go to his handler said, no, I'm doing it regardless. But at first, he didn't tell the handler all the details.
No, he said I'm doing it. He never told her
Yeah.
the details exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I thought we should get into that too, actually. So let me talk about why he had to get the ex-wife's sister because they showed that too in the
Mhm.
meantime. So apparently the sister was married to this. Her husband was like this. What would you call him? Like a foreign operative or dictator, whatever he is.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I don't want to say a dictator, but pretty much he was like, remember they said it was two gangs and he was the head of one gang.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Him and his
and they-
brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but he's in jail. He can't get out. And even though his brother tried to get him out politically, they couldn't get him out. Stuff like that. And we see how evil him and his brother are. So
Well, let's back up a little bit. So here's the cool thing. So his brother was in prison, and what set it off, his brother's comfortable in prison.
yeah.
So here's what's weird, and I thought this was cool. His brother was in prison with his wife and his two kids
Mm-hmm.
in prison comfortably. Like
Yeah.
he put his family in prison to protect them from being off the streets. But what set the older brother off was that his brother got an extra 10-year sentence.
Oh, that's right. I
And
forgot
that's
about
what
that
it
part.
was. He was
Good
like,
call.
no, now we got to get him out. And he had like the governor or something of I guess it's called
Yeah.
Georgia over there
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
UK. And the governor was like, we can't get him out. Like I can't get him less sentence. What did he said? He said, yeah, what his
He
brother
said he's lucky I got his family in there. Actually, he said that.
yeah. And he was like, oh, what you threw a U.S. agent off the bridge or something like that. He was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I killed people. He was like, it's nothing we could do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing they could do. So they took him out. By the way, because he couldn't do nothing to help him.
Oh, you gotta tell that death.
Yeah. Oh, the death was oh. So he's walking with the guy, and he's trying to tell him I can't get him out. And then as we watching, another guy is like digging a hole and stuff like that as we're going. I forgot what he said to him though.
He said, he was talking about he said like an animal or some. Oh, it's an animal.
Oh
that's
no,
really
he
sick.
said we had to put a bull out
Yeah,
to death or something like that
he was
today.
really sick, so we had to put him down.
Yeah, they put him down. Yeah. And then he takes the pitchfork and stabs the dude like
Right.
through the neck. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like, oh my
and then he
god.
repeats it. Yeah,
Yeah,
we had to. There's an animal that was sick. We had to put him down,
yeah.
and
And
then
then
he
he
let his
falls right
body
in that
just fall
hole.
in the hole.
Yeah. And the other guys just keep put the dirt back on him and shit like that.
And then you heard the gunshots. So they pretty much start killing all the people that came with that senator or whatever.
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
all his bodyguards or whatever
yeah,
like that. So they
yeah,
take him out.
yeah.
But and the governor senator whatever he was, and his case was like you said. You're lucky I got the family in there with him. Because
Hmm.
that's not usual with and stuff like that. So as you were saying before, the brother was comfortable. He was
Yeah.
going to see his daughter and his son. The wife was
In their
upset.
cell. Yeah,
Yeah, in their cell. He had his own cell, and he pretty much ran the whole jail cell, stuff like
yeah.
that. But the wife was like, yo, they ain't even been outside in days. They're not seeing sunlight. They're not having a real
Hmm.
childhood. And the husband was like, well, they got to be tough or whatever. So it's fine,
Hmm.
about the third, and you're not going nowhere. So she really had no option, no
Right.
choice at the time.
And he slapped him.
Yeah, and he slapped. I forgot about that. And he slapped her.
Yeah,
And they thought the son was asleep, but he wasn't asleep and whatnot.
yeah.
So, and the son, man, listen, I would have killed this boy, but we'll get to that later.
Bro, you know those certain plot devices you know the certain people in the movie where you just want to, like you said, like, bro,
Yeah.
if I, man, yeah, that was him.
I want to do like Homer Simpson and Bart and like wring his neck and shit.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, but anyway, so I don't know how she did it either, by the way. But I guess she reached out to her sister and said she need help and stuff like that. Whatever. All right, so we got that part. So going back, Tyler, his name's Tyler Rick. He takes the mission and with the handler, so he has to now get back in shape. So we get the montage, which is also again 80s 90s movie for me
yeah,
vibes.
man,
Yeah, so we get the montage of him working, he's hitting the damn wood and shit like
yeah, the
that. And
wood, yeah.
he's getting back in shape, and he's able to be back to his normal self. At least stuff like that.
Hmm.
Sorry. So we then get the mission. Yaz is on board. His sister's on board, the handler, and we get the mission. So the reason why these movies are called Extraction, in case you guys didn't know, is because every movie, besides all the other stuff, he has to extract something or somebody.
Right.
And I think that's a dope concept too, because
Yeah.
it keeps the movies having a purpose rather than
Hmm.
just being some random ass action movie for no
And
reason.
it's also a delicate situation because you're extracting someone who can't fight back, who
Yeah,
isn't used to this. So imagine bullets flying all over, and you got somebody like, stay down, come behind me, follow me. Like, so it
yeah.
keeps you on edge the whole movie.
I wanted to ask you this, but I think I'll get to it actually. But okay, so so he starts the mission or whatever like that, and the mission is they pay the guard off apparently inside the building, helps him get in, and then to extract her. So I won't go detail by detail because it's a lot. You can fill in if you want to,
Okay.
but him getting them out was obviously hard because you got the brother obviously,
Right.
you got the internal gangs inside the cell,
Right.
and you got the guards inside the cell.
Right.
So him getting them out was a whole lot, and shit obviously as it would hit the fan. At
It
that particular
almost went smooth, man.
moment. Yeah,
He got in there quick, opened the cell, told him to come on, but the damn kid was slowing. The son kept saying, "Where's my dad? Where's my dad?" And the mom's like, "He's coming, he's coming."
Yeah,
And which was a little weird that all the people that couldn't find him, the dad shows up.
yeah.
And
That part got me actually. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah,
yeah,
that was one part that got me. But as they get the son out and the daughter out, before they get the wife out, the dad shows up, like you said,
hmm
and they have this like nice battle down the
yeah.
bottom of the cells, stuff like like that. And then once they had a battle, Tyler kills him. Tyler's obviously better than him.
So technically, I felt the whole movie, which I guess they wouldn't want to say that, but the last blow was from the mom. The
That's
mom,
true.
yeah, the mom technically killed him.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah, and the whole time I was like, bro, just tell the kid your mom. I was like, wow, I guess you can't say because the kid really looked up to his dad.
Yes,
So I guess you
yes.
can't really say your mom killed him, but really, the mom did the final blow.
That's
The mom
true.
really killed him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. With the shovel. That's the
It was shovel. Yeah.
Yeah. So by the time he fights off the the husband, they can't get her out. So now they're
Yeah.
back in there, and they got to go another way, and they got to go
Mhm.
back through all the chaos and through the courtyard. I thought
Right.
the courtyard scene was phenomenally shot. It was like
Yeah.
one take, and they couldn't get through. They couldn't get around, so they go through, and they're just
Ooh.
fighting and fighting. She's swinging a shovel. She's helping out.
He
They're
get
going back
that
and
knife.
forth.
He's fighting all these people with the knife. And then you know what's cool about it? Some movies they will make the hero barely get hurt. Bro,
Yeah.
he's getting tore up. Yo,
Yeah.
I thought it was done when they was in the courtyard and somebody hit him in the back of the head with the brick,
Yeah.
and it just shows him like you hear the noise and him just slow motion hit the ground.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's a wrap. I guess he gonna get captured or whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
and then they grab her, they're taking her away, and he slowly
Yeah.
gets up, and they made you feel like my man got clocked.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the term
Yeah.
cold cock, like yo,
Yeah.
his head, but yeah, he just end up getting his bearings together, and he fights off and he grabs her, and they eventually make their way through. But that was such a scene.
Yeah, all of it. First of all, the fight choreography was great, and to me, and also like I said, the whole one take shot I think was amazing to me,
Mhm.
and I think that like the Hemsworth of it all, like I know he's Thor and everything like that, but because it's like magical and
Powers, he's just super strong. Yeah,
CGI, like you don't get to see it, but in this movie you really get to see like Hemsworth is big as shit. Like he's a big ass dude and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like he fucking people up. So I was like, yo, this really like gives it to me. But I was gonna ask you, when I watch this Extraction, and I'm not even a gamer, but I think would it make a dope video game like Extraction?
bro. You know what's crazy? That crossed my mind later on in the movie when they was in the. We'll get there, but when they're in the garage and people
Okay.
are coming and he got to
Yeah.
be sneaky and
Yeah.
slow. I was like, dude, this could be a game. Like
Yeah.
this could be similar to a Metal Gear Solid or something like that. Yeah.
I was thinking it because of like in a jail cell, because I'm like, yo, that could be the game. You got extraction missions every
Right.
level, whatever like that. Like
Right.
you already got the plot.
Yeah,
of the game
and
already.
you have somebody with you, so you
Right.
got to make sure they don't get killed.
Right. Yo, that would be I thought it would be a
Yeah.
dope ass game or shit like that. And like that to me, you know what I thought about? I thought like that jail cell could be like a whole level on a game or some shit like
Yeah.
that. Like extract them out of this particular jail,
Yep.
and they give you the mission details, and
Yeah.
you got your handlers, and the same shit that was in the movie. I can hear it in the game. Like, I don't know the
Yeah.
game, but I can hear like we can't go here. It's cut off. All right, go to this door, shit like that.
Yeah.
I can see you playing that game, like
Bro, it would be a dope game. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
All different spaces in the movie could be a different stage.
Right.
Like
right,
especially
right.
when you get to the ending with the building, but
Yeah.
that's not even end. But yeah,
Yeah, I think so. And then like some missions can have like one person to get, or like this one had a family to get, or something like
Yeah,
that. You gotta make sure
yeah.
all three are safe and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. But I want to ask you that shit. I know you're a gamer, but
Yeah, man.
and even this name Extraction, like I thought it was sell and everything, honestly.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, so like you said, they do get him out though. So
Mhm.
like you said, the kid's still asking about his dad the whole time. Mom's still lying to him at first and whatnot. So they get them out of the jail. But we're just getting started. Like
we
we're
just
not-
getting started, bro.
And like that's the part that got me too, because usually like if they complete the mission in these type of movies, they're
Right.
like good for at least like a minute,
Yeah,
and then maybe the revenge will come later on. We
You
weren't
get
done
no
yet.
break. You get no
yeah,
break.
yeah. So they get them out of this jail, but they still got to get them somewhere else, stuff like that. So they're in the car. You get like a 30-second break. They're in the car. Next thing you know, people shooting at them and shit. You got ATVs on each side of them, motorcyclists and shit
Oh,
like
that
that.
was-
So also could be in the game, by the way.
Yeah.
But motorcyclists on other sides, and they got to take them out. And one of the cars get taken down. So now you got his car with the family, and the other
Mm-hmm.
car with the handler and his brother.
Mhm.
It's like it's so intense, bro. Like watching
Yeah.
that shit to me and whatnot. So we got the whole chase thing with the cars. Finally, the cars get destroyed. Now they're on feet, and now they're in this other warehouse. They got to go through there, and then from there, the train part,
The train. I was
Which
waiting for you to get to it.
which was in the snow, stuff like that. So
Dude.
just tell me before I like run out of breath because so much here. How you feel about all these like action sequences going on and stuff? Like,
You know what's cool, man? Is you and I, we go to movies a lot. We see a lot of
Yeah.
movies. See a lot of movies. A lot of movies. A lot of movies. You don't see a lot of movies like this.
no, I
That's
could
all that big budget movies.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last big budget movie in the theater that gave you this pacing. I
Yes.
couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you.
Right.
Last movie with this pacing I probably seen was Extraction 1. For real, in 2 years.
Yo, how dope was like each particular like to you like
Yeah, I
each
think
set piece like going
so
through
the
it
thing
like
is when you first start watching it, you're just learning characters. And so it's so many vehicles. When one get blown up, you're like, oh wait. And you're like,
yeah
all right, cool, cool. It ain't
yeah
him, it ain't him. And so it's just so much going on, so much action when people are got the rocket launchers blowing up stuff. But yeah, I think the chase scene is just amazing. But when you get to the train, this is where I love it.
go ahead
Like you got
take off yeah
yeah, man, they're on the train. One, they got people jumping in on the train from helicopters, and they're
yeah
getting in. They got the helicopter shooting up the train. So it's like, okay, the gun type of guns they got on the helicopters, and he's just jumping on top, grabbing like he grabbed that one gun,
yeah
the LMG, and you guys play any Call of Duty, LMG got the super long line of bullets hanging,
mm-hmm.
and he's just shooting back at the helicopter, and the guns they got is just, but he dip come out helicopter hits the ground, blowing up. He like it got everything you need. The guys are jumping on the train, putting little C4 or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and dips aside, blow holes open, run inside. They get and then the handler. Let's get clear.
yeah
He is dope.
yeah
She's fighting off all these guys. She's getting punched and hit by grown men, dipping, spinning. With the one move where she jumped up on dude, flipped over, and held him down, and was shooting at the other dude, and
yeah
then shot him. And he couldn't move because she had him wrapped up between her legs. I'm like, bro. At the same time, they got a wife, little girl, and a son running, and they ain't fighting back,
no
and they gotta not get shot.
it was like Bravo, bro. I tell you, it was like Bravo. I tell you, man. It's like it was like a chef's kiss to me. That like
Yeah,
whole
it really was. Yeah, it
sequence,
really was.
bro. It was like you said, like that, and the way it was shot, it was like they kept going like back and forth throughout the train. Like
Right.
it was like so dope. Like
It's
you
like
said,
they wanted to show that each part of the train got destroyed, and they had to move on and move on and move on.
yeah.
Yes.
Even inside the train, you had the certain parts where like you said, the kids couldn't do shit. The brothers helping him fight. Yes, inside the train, like.
Yeah.
It was just so much. It was like I want to watch it again. I think it was like like a lot happening. So anyway, that was a lot. But we finally do get past that that part, and they and the
And hold on, let
train.
me back a little bit. I think the thing is, right, that the train had no brakes on top of that. So they
Yeah.
couldn't stop the train.
Yeah.
So they had to
Hold
crash the train.
What's up, Mr. Urban World? Thanks, bro.
What's up, man? You got the invite inside Discord. Stop playing. But yeah, they had to crash the train. Like
Right, but they couldn't stop it, so they had to strap the kids in to do it. But Tyler couldn't strap in time, so the train
Right.
just crashes or whatever, and in the snow. And then they all get out, and at that time they finally get to this like safe location. Meantime, the brother over here is pissed, and he goes to his brother's to the morgue or whatever, see his brother. The uncle is trying to tell him kind of like, Hunter's gotta let it go. But the brother's like, nah, whoever killed him, I'm gonna kill them back. Stuff like that. So I said it to say, when we're inside I'm sorry, when they first leave the train, I missed the part. The son, this when he starts going downhill. The son starts saying, did you kill my father?
right.
To Tyler. And Tyler looked at him like, I mean, yeah, basically just like that.
Yeah.
So the mom is like, you lied to me. And he's like, you lied to me to the mom, whatever, to the third. So he's trying to punch on Tyler, obviously to no avail
Right.
and stuff. And he's all emotional and shit like that. So we first start to see the emotional son. So now when we're in the plane, I should say, and everybody's kind of like trying to get themselves together, calm down. The son takes the phone and calls the uncle.
Right.
And that's when he's like, tell us where you are, Sando. Don't believe your mom or whatever. She always wanted to kill. She had your father killed. Blah blah blah. Said the third. And I think he's been brainwashed by the dad, but also about that group they're in, whatever they were
Yeah,
called.
the
that gang.
Nazir or something. Yeah, Nazir.
Nazir's. Yeah, he's been brainwashed like that's what I am. I'm a part of that. You know what I'm saying? So I think as a kid you're so impressionable. Besides your own father, if it's like this group is your family.
It's like the same thing as a little kid who see their dad in a gang and he grows up and just want to be a part of the gang. He knows a gang is a bad thing, but at the same time, he wants to be a part of it.
Right, because my dad a part of it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So
yeah.
it's like crazy. So anyway, and it is his uncle, so you love him too, obviously. So
Mhm.
so he drops a dime. He tells them where they're at.
Well, here's what's cool. They never really show the uncle say, "Where are you?" and then they clip away. So they leave it where you don't really know if the son does it or not, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
it was kind of cool because I was like, at that point when he was punching him, oh, did you kill him? I'm like, oh damn, this kid's gonna be a problem. And so then when he get the phone and he calls the uncle, but then they clip away, I'm like, bro, I wonder that it will the kid Willie or Willie not. And I thought that was good to not just let it be clear that he did it.
yeah. I
Leave
agree.
you on that little cliffhanger that maybe, maybe not, which they
Yeah,
don't even belong.
yeah. And in the meantime, we get what you were talking about, right? I want to
Mhm.
bring it back where you said that the handler finds out this just wasn't a regular mission.
Right,
That Tyler took it because the girl said, "Oh, you didn't tell her that he's my wife, my sister's ex-husband and stuff like that."
right.
And then she's upset, kind of like, "Why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
I still
She was
would have
like, you
did
could
it."
have told, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. You could have told me so, and that made things different, obviously, at a particular point. But they do get to this building. They're like, "Listen, we're gonna get you new identities or whatever like that. Get you to your
Hmm.
sister. We're gonna get this little girl some medical attention. Everything supposed to be good. The kid, obviously. Oh, hold on. Let me holler at our boy. What's up, Josh? Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely watch it, man. When you and Chloe get a chance, man.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
great
it's
movie.
dope. Also, it's Mr. Urban World's birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy belated birthday, Mr. Urban Well. Do anybody know how old he turned? He ain't gonna tell nobody.
34.
Oh, okay, all
Yeah, he had
right.
a cake. He loves cookie cakes. So he showed a big picture of a cookie cake and it had 34 all over it.
Wow,
Yeah,
nice, Mr. Urban Well. That's what's
cool.
up. I wish we could see your face, but it's not happening.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, um, so you know what I'm gonna say, yeah. So they're at the building and stuff like that, and that's when Tyler is talking to Thing, and we're saying the backstory more
Hmm.
that and with the wife. So
Yeah.
what happened apparently is that when their son was dying,
Hmm.
um, he from cancer, he couldn't stay and watch it, and he used the excuse as I gotta go take this mission to leave. And
Right.
the son died, and the wife was there, but he wasn't there. So
Hmm.
she felt like you left me here to watch our son die by myself and
Hmm.
stuff. And the son, and the what was I gonna say? And the son knew that because he mentioned it. He said your father was. He said, but at least my father was there. So the son actually knew what happened and stuff like that. So it kind of struck a nerve with him and stuff.
Yeah.
So as they're talking and stuff like that, I guess Tyler kind of gets to him a little bit, and then he said, "I'm so sorry." He said, "What do you mean?" And he realized the helicopters are coming in.
Yeah, he said my uncle's coming.
Yeah,
And then he looked and you see this helicopter coming towards the building. And
yeah,
now here to set the scene, guys, they're in a high this building has to have like 45 floors,
yeah.
right?
At least, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
at least.
yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so this helicopter's coming. They look down. And at first, I'm like, "Oh, that's all he bringing is a helicopter." But then Rake looks down, and you see cars are pulling up. You're like, "Oh, damn! They're surrounding the building and
Yeah.
got a helicopter coming."
So basically, you can't go nowhere. Up top, down low.
Right?
Yeah, they're surrounding the building, whatever like that. So they all see it coming. Josh, wait, I'm on mute. So they all see it coming. So now they got to go. They're not even ready, but they got to go. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
as they now we got another basically. So that was like our little break, that small break
Right?
from the action, which is fine.
Right?
Now we got another like game type of atmosphere because now
Yeah.
it's this whole like he's coming from every direction. They got it's like kind of like another extraction, really.
Yeah.
They
I
got to
was
get
thinking
him
the
out.
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you got to get him out. So they kind of separate the brother and the handler, and then Tyler goes the other way and stuff like that. Yeah,
Hmm.
after they try to go through the parking lot, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Now we got hella action. So you want to take it away with the action? And that's
Yeah. So they plan was to get through downstairs, right?
yeah,
So here's how crazy it is. They get to the garage and everything seems cool. They get in the car and then all hell breaks loose. The whole gang is coming. I mean, they got military grade weapons, right? They're shooting up the cars. The cool thing is though, the cars they got have bulletproof
yeah,
glass. So you
yeah,
see the glass getting shot up, but it's not breaking through. They're trying to get through to get outside. The cops start coming. The gangs they're blowing. They're got rocket launchers blowing the cop cars up. So eventually, Rake has to he goes his own way, he tells the girl, what's her name anyway? His handler.
Handler chick. I'm gonna find out. Go ahead. I'm listening though.
But yeah, he tells the handler, just get the kids out, right? So they drive, they car get tipped over. It gets to the point where they got to go back in the building because they can't get outside. They come up with another plan. Okay, Nick. What's her name?
Nick. Her name was Nick.
Oh yeah, Nick. Yeah, N-I-K. Yeah, Nick. So then they're like, we got to. Here's the new plan. Let's steal their helicopter. They're all coming to get us down here. We'll separate, make our way upstairs, and then steal their helicopter to get away.
Right.
And and mind you, I'm just saying this loosely, but it's just so much action happening from them trying to leave and decide we can't leave and get back upstairs. They do a whole crazy scene where they're in an elevator and he has a thing where the elevator open up and he got a grenade strapped to it and it blows up, and like it's so much action and chaos and mayhem that if me and Mike sat here and tried to explain it all, we'll be here for a while.
But I do want to talk about one particular part.
Okay.
The part on the glass where Nick is about to die. And stuff
yes.
Like that. Right? So go ahead. You want to get to that.
So yeah. So eventually Nick gets upstairs. She's higher up, pretty much on the roof.
Yeah.
And the main bad guy, the brother, shows up, and it's like the building, and then it's like a little hangover of the building that's all glass. And she how did she end up getting on there? She was
fighting one dude.
She's fighting this dude.
Yeah.
He spears her through the glass. They both fall, hit this part of the glass. It doesn't break, but they both are unconscious. Right. Slowly, their bodies just sliding off. The other guy slides off to his death. Right. Mind you, they're like on the 45th floor. Yeah. She's getting close, and then Tyler looks up and he sees her body sliding, and he's
because it's glass, they can see it. That's what
through the glass, and he's like, but then the dude attacks him. They're fighting, and he's trying to, like, he got to hurry up to finish beating whoever he's fighting to try to get to her, and she's above him, which was crazy because what does he do? I guess he ended up like runs upstairs and just jumps and smashed through the glass to hold on, like, so the edge of the glass is a rim.
No. What he did was it was dope as shit, yo. So after he beats the guy up, he runs up to, like you said, goes through the glass. He slides down. As he's sliding, he shoots the glass so it can break, and so then he grabs it. Right.
Grab her hand.
Yeah.
So he's holding on, and one hand holding her, and then the crazy thing is the main bad guy comes up, and he's like, now you're going to see what it's like to lose somebody you love. He shoots him in the hand that's holding on. Yeah. Usually in a movie, you fall.
Yeah.
One man's still holding on after he got shot in the hand.
Yes. Yeah. And then he fucking, but what happened was she woke up, so she shoots the bad guys.
Hold on. Back up real quick. Yeah. So it's this moment. She's unconscious. Right. He's holding her. He got one hand, and he said, "Now you're gonna see what it feels like to lose somebody you love." He aims at her to shoot her in the head. And at this point, nothing in the world is telling me that she's safe. She's dead.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the glass breaks that he's standing on, and you realize she woke up a little bit enough to shoot the glass under him. So they're both holding on, and he looks at her. Ray looks at her, or Tyler, do you trust me? She said, of course. He swings her and throw her back in the building through the glass.
Which was crazy as shit.
Bro, where do you see this at? What is this, Tango and Cash? Like, what is this, Face Off?
Right.
Is this a John Woo movie? Like, what are we doing?
I don't know, man. Through the glass. Then him and the guy has their, like, first fight a little bit. Him and the brother dude or whatever like that. And he's like, yo, go get the kids to her. She go to get the kids and stuff like that. And I don't know the detail by detail, but this is a big ass dude and shit chasing the wife at the time or whatever like that.
And actually, we got to back up. Way back on the floor in the garage, when they first are driving in the car, the kid gets out and runs. So the son isn't even with them. That's
the main plot point we got discussed too. Yeah, the son runs away to go be with his uncle and stuff like that. And they sent her brother Yaz to chase after the son.
Yes.
This bitch ass son. I would let him go. Fuck it.
Me too, bro. Me too. Like, yo, you on your own then, bro.
Right.
You look like you're like 14. I bet in your country you consider adult. I don't know what to say.
Right. Like, I'm not gonna be chasing you, about to get shot and shit. You wanna go with your uncle?
Nah, bro.
Yeah, go be with your uncle and shit. The fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing that. Anyway, so He's chasing him, but he's trying to go towards his uncle. He doesn't want him going to his uncle
Right.
willingly. Like he goes and gets in the car. He wasn't kidnapped. He wasn't taken. Whatever like that. At the time. And uncle's like, go stay here. I'll take care of this. So yeah, that was a big plot point.
Yeah.
But
So
anyway,
then bouncing back.
people by people. And somewhere in there, Yaz gets shot. I forgot where it was at. But
He was in the stairwells.
okay. Oh yeah. So the brother gets shot and stuff like that. At that time, one time, at first, whatnot, or a couple times, and then she does get the wife and the daughter. So what? The dope part was the brother and her in the elevator, and they kind of fist pump or whatever, like we got this or whatever, and they make this plan, and they climb into the. Help me if I miss the part, but they climb into the elevator shaft, and when they think the elevator coming up, it's not them. The bomb goes off, and then they come out of the top part. Or some shit like that.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
That was cool. And then reason I brought this up because it's trying to get in the helicopter, the brother gets shot like several more times.
Yeah.
Or whatever like that.
So they finally make it to the helicopter. The wife and her daughter and Yaz and Nick and Tyler, those five get in the helicopter. The son is gone.
Right.
And they get away and fly off. So the main bad guy is standing there, and he watched them get off. He grabs a gun, and he's trying to shoot, and then they, like, barrel roll or whatever, just flies to the side so he can't shoot them, and they get away on the helicopter. Right. And so they show him back at his, like, place, pretty much. The guy,
It was like a hangar, like
it was like a hangar with their plane. And the one guy said, we lost 10 of our guys. Yeah. He was like, you're trying to get them. He's like, listen, all you guys can leave. I'm staying. He's like, you're staying. And he's like, your life isn't worth it. And then he's like, my brother's life isn't worth it. And so then he says, my dad used to call you something. He used to say you was this quiet cricket in the story. So you remember the story? And he said, okay. And this. I guess he deserved it. He said, well, where's your dad at now? Where's your brother at now? And so he looks at him. He said, listen, let's ask God. So he pulls the Bible out. He's reading a passage in the Bible. And at that point, the main bad guy dude is pissed off. You just hear a shot. And everybody's looking like, what's going on? And you see blood drip on the Bible. And he kills him. And he's like, yeah, I'm going after dude. So actually, let me back up. They get back to this cabin. And they're pretty much fine. And they don't have the kid, but they're
except for Yaz died.
Yaz dies.
Yeah.
Do you see Nick wiping the blood off of Yaz's hands and stuff as Yaz's dead body is in the bed? Oh wait, and then a car pulls up and the wife, Tyler's wife, gets out. Yeah. So now she shows up and it's like, oh damn. But it was cool because they get their little moment. Yes. For she to be like, look, I never got. He said I never got to tell you I'm sorry. Because I left. He said, no, I know you don't want to hear this, but never got to tell you I'm sorry. And she said, you're right. I don't want to hear it. But then she asks, well, why did you leave? So they get their moment to say, listen, I was afraid. I decided to go back, to the army. I had a job to do, blah, blah, blah. So that was cool. But so they're there. They're pretty much safe. But the phone rings and he picks up the phone and it's the brother. And the brother's like, listen, you got a chance to what does he try? Does he really tell him that he needs to come get the son? He's just like, oh yeah, let me negotiate. And at this point, Tyler's pissed. He said, oh, I'm coming. But he said, come alone. He said, I'm coming, but this ain't gonna be a negotiation.
Yeah.
And so he jumps in the car and the issue now this is like the Rambo part. He's putting on his vest, he got all this stuff, grabbing guns, grab a big bag of all these extra guns, grenades, throw it in the back of the truck. And he's about to pull off, and Nick run up and say, where are you going? And he's like, no, I'm doing this alone. She's like, open the door. And he's like, no, and he pulls off. So he goes alone without anybody.
Yeah. And when he get there, I'll take over. When he get there, like, first of all, you might know more than me, but whatever he was shooting, that gun he was shooting.
Grenade launcher.
Okay, grenade launcher. Okay, he's blowing up the planes and shit. That was dope by itself.
So the cool thing with a grenade launcher is the grenades that go in it are all the similar size. So you could put a grenade launcher that has explosions. You could put because eventually he shot a smoke grenade too. Yeah. So remember he was blowing stuff up, but then he shot a couple smoke grenades that just made smoke so he could slide in. Yeah, right. That was dope.
Yeah, it was though. I thought, yeah. So
Yeah.
he put, he shot the cars up, building
And the
up.
plane.
Yeah, the
Bro, when
plane.
he blew the plane up, they
Yeah.
made like the face of terror on the bad guys at that
Yeah.
moment. They look and see their plane get blow up. They're like, oh, damn.
Yeah, and what he did was he got them out of the hangar by by shooting
Right.
smoke in one direction, so they had to go the other direction. They had to come to him basically and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that was like a smart ass plan and shit. And then whoever the I guess the other guys, were the other
Yeah, the dude with that haircut. Yeah.
yeah, haircut or whatever. Like that. He had to fight down, so that was pretty dope and shit like
Yeah.
that. I guess this is like the last level right in the game. I was thinking
Yeah,
about it. So
yeah.
he had to fight down. That was pretty dope. So the other guy, the brother, takes the son to this church or whatever. It's unfinished church, I guess.
Mhm.
That's having renovations going on and stuff. And then after Tyler gets through the other guys, he goes in there and he to get the son. But the uncle done strapped a bomb to the kid. I like that. And got the detonator. And he's like, listen, how much do you whatever care about this kid, whatever. He's like, put the gun down. And then he does. And he tells the son to go get the gun. And he does. He says, now shoot him in the head. I like that. And then he won't do it. So the guy calls him, go ahead.
No, yeah, I want to jump in there because at this moment you're like, okay, he tells the kid to go take the gun from his uncle. Go takes the gun from Tyler. He takes the gun from Tyler. He tells him to shoot Tyler. And then the kids, you're thinking like, okay, he's the star. He can't die now, but what do you do? What's the plot? What happens? So the son doesn't want to put his arm down. So then he pulls up the gun, and you're like, okay, well, Tyler's done. And then all of a sudden, this part was weird because they make, I guess, a certain pitch noise. And then the uncle turns around and look, but then Nick is there. Yeah. So Nick shows up. And then the uncle grabs the kid, and he's like, I'm going to kill the kid. And you're like, yo, I knew all along the uncle could care less about the kid.
Me too.
The uncle just wanted to kill Tyler.
Yeah.
And so and she's pissed because she lost her brother. So this moment, I'm like, bro, I think she might just shoot the kid and blow him up.
She didn't care about the kid anyway.
She didn't care about the kid. She's like, listen, no, I had Sandy rewind it. She said, I'm about to shoot a hole in his face. I was like, what did she say? And Ron's like, bro, she's wilding. And she don't care. As the kid got bombs to her, she said, no, I'm about to shoot a hole in his face. I'm like, yo, and Tyler's like, no, stop, don't do it. And
she puts her gun down eventually.
Yeah, she puts her gun down.
And
I'm trying to think how the kid. I guess the kid elbows the uncle or something like that.
He elbowed the uncle. I think he dropped the detonator or some shit like that.
Yeah,
and he elbowed the uncle.
And then Tyler gets to run and tackle him.
Right. So then she shoots at him, but then he shoots her, and then Tyler gets to run and tackle him. And they had this like epic fist fight.
And
but
violent.
through this church was being renovated, so there's all kinds of boards and
the tools.
Tools.
Hey, Mike, a hacksaw.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah. All type of shit. So whatever is around, they use weaponry. And
they're hitting each other and
Yeah.
stabbing each other.
Yes.
Like one point in time, the bad guy swings the hacksaw. Tyler blocks it and it hits him like this, and he like yanks it down. So it just cut like bone and flesh.
Oh, it was crazy, bro. Like, but dope as hell. And shit. And then that one thing, the swinging thing, I don't know what that is even. Like,
it was like something was hanging with like nuts and bolts on a thing, and he grabs it and swings it. I mean, he clocks Tyler.
Yeah, he did.
Bro, he hits him with a box of nails.
Yeah, he does.
I'm like, a box of nails, the nails all over. I'm like, yo.
He pushes him through the scaffold a bunch of times or whatever like that. It's like, wow, in there. So finally, he goes to get back to the gun, which all bad guys do.
Right.
And he's going to get back to the gun. Tyler knows he can't get that gun, but Tyler's like not in good shape right now.
So let's start over. When Tyler first finally makes it in there, when he shot the guy we said with the haircut, the guy with the haircut gets to shoot him too. So when Tyler walks into the church, he's limping. At this point, one of his legs is done.
Yeah.
So that just to back up. So they have this whole fight scene, and he barely could walk.
At that time. So then at the end, like I said, when he goes to finally get the gun, Tyler is
this was
can't do that, but he can crawl. So he was able to crawl, and as he's crawling, the guy still reaches for the gun, and as he's crawling, Tyler's stabbing him all the way up his body.
Yeah,
so it's like
leg and
and
back.
Yeah.
And he's using that to climb
Yeah.
up him
Yeah.
and stop him from getting the gun. And you're like, what? So then
Yeah.
the bad guy rolls over. He rolls over and he pretty much stabs him like in the chest area. And so the bad guy lays down. He lays. So it's a cool scene. They're both laid like they get a camera shot from above them,
Yeah.
and they're both just laid out, hurt, bloody, right? And then
Yeah.
the bad guy says, "I'll never stop." And then Tyler slowly grabs the gun and just, bam, shoots him in the head.
Yeah. I like that too. I like it because it was like not subtle, but I like
Yeah.
how Tyler it basically was like, yo, no, you gonna stop.
Yeah, yeah, and they're both exhausted. They can't even move.
Yeah.
But he had just enough energy to grab the gun and just shoot from the side, boom, right in the head.
Yeah.
And at that part, I was annoyed because they both were so hurt. I was like, bro, where's the? He stabbed up his body. There was no blood, but when he shot him in the head, you seen the blood come underneath. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So, now the cops come and stuff like that. So,
Right.
it's to end the movie off. We're going to kill the bad guy now. They put Nick in one prison, and then
Yeah.
Tyler in like a whole another prison.
And I was like, yo, they still went to prison? And Sandy was like, well, look at all the damage they caused. I was like, yeah, but they work for like the United States. I was like, oh, wait, they're in another country.
Yeah, another country. Other countries. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, they're separate prisons. Nick is getting medical treatment and stuff like that. Tyler's in jail. And then we have ex-wife come visit him and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And lets him know that, the family is in the United States now. And they got different names. They're extracted, blah, blah, blah. But they're broke. And he says, I got $1 million in cash.
Yeah, he said the United States government freezed all their assets. So he said, look, go to the cabin, open up the floorboard to third, to the left, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
There's $1 million in cash. Give it to him. This
Yeah.
was weird for me. The wife didn't acknowledge that. She just went to another question and made me think, bro, she about to take you $1 million. She wasn't like, oh, that's great for you. She just went to the next thing. So I just want to let you know that,
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I said to Sandy, my wife, I said, yeah, she about to take my man $1 million.
You know what's crazy? I thought in my head I was like, I thought she was like, in her mind she was like, I already got that shit. We already found that. Like,
Because she literally didn't comment to that.
right.
She just went straight into like, because what she brought up their son or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like no, like oh cool, no head nod, no like oh great, thank you.
Yeah.
We talking about $1 million. She just was like
In my
yeah,
mind,
so about her
I'm
son.
thinking like, I'm like, she said, I almost said, I already got that shit last week. Like,
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. But that was nice. Anyway, his all
Yeah.
praise gesture or whatever. And then good to see the family is safe. So, at that time, we go back now, not back, but spinning it all the way forward, we see Idris Elba again. And he comes back, and he has no name, by the way. So I'm not saying his name.
Well, hold up. We got wait. So they do a little flashback with the son. So that was cool. They show the son because she get to say this. So she just said, I just wanted to let you know, because this is important, that it wasn't that our son, the last thing, because he said earlier, the last thing my son seen me was he seen me leave him. So I just want to let you know, the last thing your son seen wasn't you leaving him. The last thing your son seen was you going to save people.
Yeah.
And he said his last words was, I wish I could be as brave as my dad.
Yeah.
And so he showed a little picture he drew. I guess that was supposed to be his
Yeah.
dad. So that was cool. And
Yeah.
then that gave him, he like, oh wow, he gets that relief. And then all of a sudden they show them come get him and they put him in a car.
Yeah.
They take him out to prison. He's still in his prison suit. They drive out somewhere in a car and they open the door and let him out. And then Idris Elba is there.
Shows up and stuff like that. He says, I told you not to get caught, something like that. And he says, what's your name? He says, I don't have no name, basically. But he said, you wait till you meet my boss, you'll love him. So apparently there's somebody else we're gonna meet. So
Right.
that should be dope. And then he says, like, I'm not doing anything. Something about either
He was,
like without my team or I don't know.
no, hold on, back up real quick. He said, I'll get you out,
Right.
but you got to do one more job for me.
Right.
So
right.
he was like, well, I'm not doing anything with my team. So he turned and looked, and another car pulls up, the door
so it was.
opens, and Nick gets out.
And Nick is now fully healthy now and stuff like that. So it had to be some months stuff that passed.
Yeah.
And Nick is now good and she pops out. So, that kind of set the scene for Extraction 3,
Yeah.
which they better make now. Cause I'm all
They got it, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, bro, who would they make be like the boss or something? Because it got to be somebody. If Idris Elba is the contact guy, then the
Right.
boss got to be like some star we know. You know what I mean?
I know. I'm trying to figure out who it would be. I don't
Yeah.
know, bro. Like, it's crazy. But do they got to be evil or just like a star? What do you think? Like, got to be like not
You know
evil, but
what?
like intimidating.
Yeah,
You think?
maybe,
Or
but maybe it would be cool if his boss is like end up being the bad guy and he got to go against his boss at the end.
yeah,
Yeah, because
that'd be
maybe
tough
his
too.
boss have him doing a mission, and halfway through the mission they realize like, oh, he lied to you. You think you going to kill like the bad guys, but the bad guys is really the good guy, and so you
Yeah,
change your mind and don't extract whatever, and you know what I mean? Something.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
fantasy
yeah.
booking anyway.
Anyway, yeah, fucking. But I think it'd be dope too if they. I heard you say this, but kind of like kidnap the wife. He got to extract her or the ex-wife or whatever like that. I think that'd be cool too. Actually, even though it'd be kind of similar to the sister, but it'd be different at the same time.
Yeah.
So especially they come somehow wind up back together at all that time. Or I don't know. I don't know. Either way, we're fantasy booking like you said, but
Yeah.
I like that. I like where it's going. You know what? I was watching this, and I don't know if you perhaps felt the same way. This would have been a good movie in theaters too. Like,
It would have, man. He has the name,
right?
and the action was so over the top, and like why was this? I mean, obviously Netflix got the rights, so obviously they
Yeah.
want them to be a Netflix movies. But this could have easily been a movie in the theater.
Easily, bro. And I'd have watched it and been happy as hell with it.
Easy.
Like it's not like John Wick is great, obviously, but this ain't like far from it. Like I'd have watched the
Nah,
same
yeah,
shit.
and honestly, like, so I did. I will be honest. I seen the first two John Wicks. So I still got to see 3 and 4. But
Okay.
for me, I get it. His type of style is close quarter stuff most of the times,
Yeah.
shooting a bunch of people. This was on that level, man. This was on
Yeah,
that level.
yeah. To me, like I was sitting here thinking, like, how many bullets were used in this movie? Like, it had to be tens of thousands of bullets.
Right,
shot in this
right,
movie.
right.
Like, it's like
How
it's
many
insane.
explosions? Right,
Yeah, like
planes blowing up, countless helicopters blowing up, countless
yeah.
cars blowing up.
It's crazy. But so overall, man, we can come to that point, man. How would you rate this movie, man? 1 through 10, man.
I can't give it anything less than an 8, and I'm trying to think if I go higher. That's how good it was.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it really didn't lack anything. So, ooh, I like I like the hero. I like the plot devices with the kids and the son. I liked his backstory. It definitely was. I say this, it was better than part one. So I don't know
Yep,
whatever
it
I
was.
rated part one, but it was better than part one.
Yeah.
The pacing was crazy. It didn't let this foot off the throttle. Besides that one moment, just to set you up to see the helicopter coming, which was dope, right?
Yep.
Yeah, part one had a lot of slowdowns, but bro, I liked it. At do I give it a 9 or 8?
I already know what I'm going with. I want to see what you're gonna do.
Jeez. Hey, you know what, bro? It didn't have all the comedy stuff that annoyed me either.
It had like no comedy. They had like the brother with like 2 little lines about his shirt. Basically, that was it. Like,
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot, man. I'm gonna give it a 9 because it was such an easy watch. Like you said earlier, you could picture watching it again. I don't typically watch movies again. This movie I could watch again.
Yeah.
It was an hour. I think it was 2 hours and 13 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
Because I was pressed for time the other day, and you know we had to postpone
yeah.
it. But but you just get through the movie like, damn, bro, this was. Yeah, I give it a 9. I liked it.
I feel like I could watch it again and probably spot some shit I didn't see. Like as far as like
because so much was happening.
Yeah, so much was happening.
Yeah.
Or like little things I might have missed for like an action sequences and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Especially like inside the jail in the courtyard, yada yada yada. So
bro, hold up. Did you catch the one scene where they was fighting in the weight room and I guess he kicked the thing that made the weight typically the weights that you would do, you would sit upside down and it's a leg press machine.
Yeah.
It had like a massive amount of weights. He kicked the machine and it crushed the dude.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
oh.
Again, the fight choreography. I'm gonna get into it. The fight choreography was amazing. The stunt people, whoever did those stunts, that was amazing. The just having the knowledge of all the weaponry, how it works and what it could do. It was amazing to me. And again, the way the stuff was actually shot, because there were a lot of like one takes where they just like went straight through and didn't like stop it or cutaway scenes and stuff like that. So I thought that was also good. I thought the plot was good. I thought the movie had the perfect amount of dialogue for the type of movie that it is.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like cheesy dialogue either. It definitely works. I still felt something. I felt the relationship between
Yeah.
Nick and Yaz, his brother and sister. Like I felt
Mm-hmm.
that. I felt the relationship between Tyler and Nick as his handler and him. Tyler and his ex-wife. Like I felt all that. So I thought it was good. And I even felt like how desperate the sister was to get out of there and get her kids out of there.
Right.
So
And
they
I even
made
started
me,
to feel a little bit for the son.
yeah.
Realizing that, listen, you love your dad. I get it. But he was a bad person. And he was the reason why your mom was living in a prison.
Yeah, hey, mom and sister. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it made me feel something for each character, and would it be in a big plot, a big budget action movie that normally doesn't happen. Normally the dialogue is like
Yeah.
whatever and
Yep.
stuff like that. So
Yep.
that was great. And then like I said, just the whole, just the way the pacing, like you said, was probably the best part of the movie. Like
Mhm.
it's just like you never when you thought it might be a lull, it was not happening and stuff
No.
like that. So for me, I'm going easily 9. Like it's not a perfect
Nice.
movie, obviously, but it was an easy. I didn't have to think about it. It's an easy 9 for me, and it's like, you know, go ahead.
No, it was hard because and this is a shame, but what we really should do is look at entertainment as cinematography as just your personal entertainment. I think I was like, oh well, it's in my mind I was like, it's a Netflix movie, but I had to think like, bro, it didn't matter
It didn't
because
matter.
what it gave me,
Yeah.
like I was like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's why I wanted to say an 8, but I had to think like, so what? It was a Netflix movie.
Right.
So what?
It did
Because it did better than movies in the movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It
saying.
had bigger budgets, like you
Yes.
said. You know what I mean?
So it was like, yeah, to me it was like it was almost like it's almost perfect damn near. So I'm gonna go with a solid 9 though.
And you know what's cool is because it was realistic, they didn't have to spend extra money on special effects. So even if it was in the movies, what extra would you really need that you didn't get anyway with a bigger budget?
Yeah.
For bigger actors? That's probably it.
That's
Because you
probably-
got the crazy explosions, car chase scenes, helicopters blowing up. Because it's not like they needed CGI. Maybe they had some in there, I don't know. But what you got was like, I don't know what else they would have did anyway.
Yeah, and then you
They
got
probably would have
also,
diluted it, like you said.
and then you also got several different locations for these fights too. So it wasn't like
Yeah.
you were seeing the same thing over and over again, and they were bigger. Like you said, John Wick, which I love, is so much like more like walking on the street,
Yeah.
hand to hand type of shit. But you don't get these like big explosions in John
Mm.
Wick and helicopter, fucking and like hand grenades. You don't get all that shit. So that's
Yeah.
different for me. But yeah, so I'm gonna go with a solid 9, man. I'm excited for part 3, man, and that's all I can say, man. Just if you
Yeah,
haven't watched
I'm
it
with
yet,
you.
go watch it on Netflix. Go watch it again on Netflix. Hopefully,
Mm-hmm.
we can get in the movies next time. I guess we'll see, but we'll do some more reviews together. Maybe we'll definitely do Extraction 3 whenever that comes out. So. For Josh, for Mr. Urban World, thanks for watching. Whoever will watch in the future, like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you again, special guest today, Cowboy, King of Content, man. Always a pleasure, my guy.
Definitely. Well, thank you for having me, Mike. I jumped at the chance of this, man, because like I said, we did the first one, so it's only fitting.
All right, so for that, I'm out, and I'll see you in the next one.
Later.